everyone, welcome to Nina Cucina. Today I am making one of my super easy salmon dishes, my pan-seared white salmon with blueberry port wine sauce. It is easy and it's so impressive looking you'll be able to serve it to guests. Let me tell you what I've got going on my work surface so we can get started right away. First, I've got some frozen organic blueberries that I've just thawed out. You don't have to use fresh for this. I have found that the frozen ones work just as well, if not better. I've got some Dijon mustard, of course, some port wine, just a couple of tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, and just a tad bit of arrowroot, just to make sure it gets all bound together and creates a nice, smooth, silky sauce. And of course, I have got beautiful white salmon from out of Alaska. Now, white salmon is very special. We think that it is white because it has a slightly different diet than red king salmon. This is a king salmon. There's only about 1 in 100 king salmon that turn out white fleshed like this. It's absolutely delicious and it has the same powerful omega-3 fatty acids in it. Now, little salt and pepper on our fish. This is fresh ground sea salt. It's actually French gray salt. Has a nice mild briny flavor, and I'm going to use just a little bit of cracked black pepper, fresh ground. And now we're going to do our sauce. This is how easy it is. The sauce is going to go right into this blender, and we're going to literally whip it up, and we warm and thicken it on the stove while we cook our fish, and that's about it. We're going to actually put the fish in the pan, and then we'll just place it in the oven to finish the cooking for about 10 minutes. So I'm just pouring all of my ingredients in here. There went my port wine. So let's scoop in my mustard. Now I'm really going to scrape out as much of that mustard out of that bowl as I can, because mustard is a seed that you grind and it acts as a starch which binds the sauce together. So it's just a little bit of extra insurance policy for me. Now just going to pour in that arrowroot. Now the trick when you're using a flour, an arrowroot, anything like that in a sauce to thicken, put it into cold liquid first, and then you're guaranteed that it won't lump on you. Now we're just going to turn this on, give it a spin. Now it's as simple as that. Now we're going to go over to the stove, pan-sear our salmon, and heat and thicken this sauce. Now I'm just going to pour my blueberry sauce right into my pan. My fire is on here, it's on high right now. I'm going to let it go ahead and be hot for right now and get it going to a little bit of a bubble, and then I'll lower my heat to about medium-high or so. Now I'm heating my cast iron pan. Now cast iron I recommend for pan searing. Now you're going to know that this pan is ready when you put your hand about 1 inch from the pan surface and you can feel heat radiating from the pan. So I'm going to take my fish, just carefully one at a time, and put it seasoning side down. And you can hear just a light sizzle. That's what you want. Now, when you're using cast iron, every time I put my cast iron away, I rub it with a little oil and I lay a paper towel in it. So you don't even need to use any additional oil when you're utilizing cast iron. So it's great for your waistline too. It imparts a little bit of iron into your food. So if you're having problems with low blood iron, this is a great pan to use. Now, since I've done this, the seasoning side down, I'm going to add just a little bit more ground salt and a little bit more ground pepper on this side. It's called flavor layering. You want to have seasoning on both sides of your fish. Now in the meantime, my sauce has begun to bubble. You just let it sit here and simmer, and you give it a stir every once in a while. Now, you're back to your fish. You're going to resist the temptation to mess with it. Just let it be at peace in your pan. Now you're going to know that it's ready to turn when it comes loose from the pan. Now right now, it's sticking to the pan because it's not ready to be turned. It's still browning. If you leave it alone, it will get a beautiful golden brown color on that underside. And as soon as it's ready, it will let loose. Now, you see that piece of fish, how beautiful and golden that is? That's what you're looking for. Now I'm just going to flip it over. There you have it. Every single piece is just like that. And why? Because the pan heats so well. In the meantime, my sauce has thickened up beautifully, so I've turned that flame off. I'm going to turn this flame off as well. I'm going to pop this into a preheated 425-degree oven just for about 7 minutes, just to finish the cooking. Then we're going to plate. Now I've just pulled this very hot pan out of the oven, and there's just heat emanating off of it. So I'm going to be really careful. We've got some nice hot sauce. I've made some beautiful stuffed zucchini boats. You can find this recipe on our site also. These zucchini boats are stuffed with a sun-dried tomato pesto stuffing. They're just delectable. So let me show you how I put this together. I start with the sauce on the bottom of the plate on a pretty white plate. Look at that color, will you? Now, talk about an antioxidant powerhouse. Blueberries are it. They rank very high on the ORAC value chart. You can learn more about the ORAC value on our site. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just the middle piece here. You can see that it's also beautifully browned on the underside from being in the oven, and I'm going to place it right smack dab in the middle of that sauce. Doesn't that look just gorgeous? Now I'm going to just put a few little pieces of parsley right on the top, just for a little green color. I always love having a little green. Now I'm going to take one of these zucchini boats and put it right on the side. Now, that zucchini boat is filled with a nut stuffing, so it's very rich, as is our high in healthy fat salmon. So here you have a great dish filled with omega-3s, filled with antioxidants, with terrific, delicious aroma that is absolutely delicious tasting, and it's great for you. Thanks for joining me today at Nina Cucina. I'll see you next time.